Well, good morning and welcome to episode 6 of Word and Worship. This episode is entitled Give and Take. So today's word comes to us from the first 2 chapters of the book of Job, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But first, let me ask you a question. So how are you doing? Yeah, how are you doing? How are you holding up under all of this social distancing and self-isolation? You know, I've noticed 2 sort of polarizing responses to everything that's been going on. On the one hand, you have the more introverted person whose lifestyle really hasn't changed much since all of this has started. So these people sort of stick to themselves and don't really go out much anyway, unless they have to go to work or something. In fact, I even saw a meme on social media showing a person in like a dimly lit room sort of peering out through some blinds, and the caption said something like, "I've been training for this my whole life." And then on the other hand, you have the more extroverted person. So for these people, not only have most of them not been able to go to work, they can't even get out to go shopping, socializing, hanging out with friends, or just being around people in general. And these are the 2 extremes, of course, and no matter what your temperament is, we've all been affected by this in some way, both good and bad. But for many people, this raises some serious questions. Many people, whether they consider themselves religious or not, struggle with questions like, where is God in all of this? And how can a good God, if one truly exists, allow something like this to happen? These are age-old questions, actually, and the fact that they continue to be asked in every generation indicates that they're not likely to be answered anytime soon, at least not to the satisfaction of all people. In other words, beyond a certain level of developed faith, definitive answers will continue to elude us. What I find interesting is the unspoken assumption that if something bad happens in this world, then there must not be a God. Or at the very least, there could be one, but he either doesn't care or is unable to do anything about it. Not exactly sure where these notions came from, beyond a sense of wishful thinking, or perhaps an expectant hope, which many of us still hold for a yet-to-be-realized paradise free from all pain, suffering, and death. But until that time comes, the Bible gives us some interesting words when it comes to the experience of human suffering. Now, I don't have time to go into all of it here, but if you don't yet know the story of Job, I encourage you to read it for yourself, or look it up online to learn more about it. But suffice it to say, Job was a man who experienced suffering in a massive way on every single level. He went from being rich, healthy, and prosperous to losing it all nearly overnight, including all of his children. Now, it's interesting in the account that Job's wife reacts in the exact same way that all of us would today. When she sees the fate that befalls her husband and yet witnesses him still trusting in God, she asks him, "Do you still retain your integrity? Curse God and die." And Job's response to her is classic. "You speak as a foolish woman speaks," he told her. "Should we accept only good from God and not adversity?" Wow, what a question. The truth is that all of us, whether a man or a woman, would have responded the exact same way, and most of us still do today. But what Job says here is profound. Why do we so readily accept what is good from God and yet reject any sense of adversity? That's a serious question, and one that many of us would struggle to answer for ourselves. Now, in chapter 1 of the same book, it records the saying of Job that's probably much more well known to most of us, and that gives further insight into the mind that asked the question above. He says, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I shall return there. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." In other words, into this life I came with nothing, and with nothing I'll leave again also. So God is still to be praised. Now, to be sure, the pain, death, and suffering that we mentioned earlier is not God's final plan or will for us. He has made it abundantly clear in Scripture that all these things will surely pass away when he finally makes things right in the end. But until that time is fulfilled, we have so many promises like the one in Romans 8, verse 28, which says, "And we know that all things will work together for good to those who love God and to those who are called according to his purpose." So no, things don't always make sense, do they? But then again, maybe we don't always have the total perspective, and certainly not a God-sized perspective. It takes some faith, I'll agree. But here's the challenge for us. Can you exercise the same trust and faith as Job? God gives and God takes away, but blessed be the name of the Lord. All right, so I'm sure by now you know exactly what song we're going to be singing today. Yep, you guessed it. Blessed Be Your Name by Matt and Beth Redman. But I hope even if you do know this song already, that you have a greater understanding and appreciation for exactly why they wrote this song. And if you do know it, please sing along. Blessed be your name in the land that is plentiful, where your streams of abundance flow. Blessed be your name. Blessed be your name when I'm found in the desert place, though I walk through the wilderness. Blessed be your name. Every blessing you pour out, I'll turn back to praise. When the darkness closes in, Lord, still I will say, blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. Blessed be your name when the sun's shining down on me, when the world's all as it should be. Blessed be your name. Blessed be your name when the road marked with suffering, for there's pain in the offering. Blessed be your name. Every blessing you pour out, I'll turn back to praise. When the darkness closes in, Lord, still I will say, blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. You give and take away. You give and take away. My heart will choose to say, Lord, blessed be your name. You give and take away. You give and take away. My heart will choose to say, Lord, blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. Your glorious name. Your glorious name. All right, as always, I hope this was a blessing to you today. Thank you guys so much for liking this video and for subscribing to this channel. Don't forget to click the notification bell so that you're notified when new content comes out. I release one of these word and worship videos every week on Monday morning. And feel free to share this with somebody that you think would enjoy it. And leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Until next time, God bless.